Hi, this is Bob Moog from UGame Studios, here with an interview with a very important guest from the UK. Mr. David Snow is the founder of the Fantastic Factory, which is making games and developing and designing games that are actually being distributed all over the world. There are about 2,000 people inventing games right now and trying to market them either through Kickstarter or on their own or through companies like University Games. And David is in the very small handful of people that have been successful in doing it. David's background is in the game industry, and he got his original training, I think, at Hasbro. Is that right?
Great. Yeah. Yep.
And how long were you at Hasbro?
I was there for 10 years, but
10
sales,
years.
not
Yeah.
inventing. So.
And if I understand correctly, you got to do a lot of different channels. You didn't just
Yeah.
stick in small retailers or something.
No, we did all the majors.
Yeah.
Majors, and I then ended up in grocery, so running
Yeah.
the grocery channel for Hasbro in the UK.
And would Tesco and Sainsbury's be part of grocery?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Would they be the two big ones?
The two biggest, yeah, for sure.
So that's great. And how do you find this different in terms of launching games than Hasbro?
Yeah, this is much more fun. I enjoyed working at Hasbro. It's great sales training, and you meet a load of great people, really exciting people, and they all go off and do their own thing, which is great. So you have a big network, but it's very corporate.
Yeah.
Doing my own thing and actually developing my own games gives me much more freedom, much more pleasure, and selling the games to a lot of new people gives me a greater network to work with. So.
And at Hasbro, you were pretty much UK-centric, weren't you?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And now you're more global.
Very much global.
Is this your first job or thing that you've done that's global, or have you done other things?
Yeah, well, I was working for Imagination after Hasbro, and then I was doing more European stuff, getting involved in the US side of things as well. But
And with
very
Imagination, was that was UK also, though, wasn't it?
That was UK and Europe, yeah.
And Europe, you
Yeah.
did all of
So
Europe.
that was sales again, and that's where I started to develop products. So we had licenses with the BBC, with ITV, so we developed Top Gear, Doctor Who games,
Yeah.
specifically for the BBC. So that got me into inventing. That gave me the training, basically.
So did you know that you were, like, for me, I knew that I was an inventor and a developer when I was 6 or 7 years old.
Sure.
And my brother and I would invent games and play them around the family. Did you know before 5 years ago that you could invent games?
No, it was through...
That's so interesting.
It was through leaving Hasbro,
Hasbro.
going to Imagination and being given the opportunity to develop licensed product, and that really gave me the fire. But interestingly, when I was 9 years old, I really loved playing board games, that sort of age, and I went and bought my first board game for the family. I went on a bus for 10 miles with my pocket money.
To get a board game?
To get a board game. It was Question of Sport board game based on a TV show.
And who made that? Do you remember who the manufacturer was?
It was...
Would it have been Spears or Waddington
Ideal,
back then?
Yeah,
Ideal.
maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, I went on the bus. I went for like 10 miles when I'm 9 years old. And then I gave it to Mum and Dad for Christmas because we loved the TV show. And it's the most underwhelmed I've ever seen in my life. So that's sort of... I believe in fate. So therefore,
So you were always thinking how to make a better game.
Yeah, I was always interested in gameplay, so yeah.
Now, one of the things at Hasbro and at Imagination that I've observed is their idea of what a good game is pretty much defined as what they can sell.
Yes.
And it's different than how we think of a good game. When you're developing a game, what do you think defines a good game? What makes a good game?
It's two things, the actual path, how the game plays. So is it exciting to play?
So the game mechanics.
The mechanic, yeah, for sure. But also it's the trend. So what's trending right now? So trending is party, millennial, adult, that sort of thing. And that's really where we sort of started with Stupid Deaths. That was one of our first off-the-bat games.
Because everybody's dying these days. So
Well,
it's a popular thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's one thing that taxes and death
Right.
come to us all, right?
Right.
So yeah, that sort of gave me we always look at trends and what's happening in the marketplace to see how we can develop a game for that. And can we do it better than current games in the market? So.
And does that mean you're going to be presenting to us a game on taxes?
Taxes could be, but it's
Could
not
be
a great
taxes.
subject.
No.
It's quite dull.
Death is more interesting.
And we'll leave that to Monopoly. They do tax on Monopoly.
Exactly.
Right? So
that's exactly
let's leave
right.
it to them.
With this follow-up that we're launching, Dumb Criminals, this is a follow-up to Stupid Deaths.
Yeah.
And what I love about Dumb Criminals is there's some strategy to it. With Stupid Deaths, it's a great game. We love it. It's one of our top 3 selling games at University Games. But it's really a true-false game.
Yes,
you have a 50-50 chance on every question. On Dumb Criminals, though, there's some more strategy. Can you talk a little bit about that and what makes it a great game?
Well, Dumb Criminals is that it's a very quick game to play. You can play it in 20 minutes, and that's the snack time that the family has these days. And we love the game. It's funny. It makes you laugh. But we wanted to go, okay, if we're going to do another one, we can't just do the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. So Dumb Criminals is all about people doing stupid things and dying. So we wanted to add strategy into the gameplay. So you're actually acting like a criminal. So it's much more, we try and do things where you feel like you're part of the game as opposed to just playing a game. You can immerse yourself in it. You can call yourself silly characters. You can become that criminal for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then move on, you know. That was the plan.
That's great. Well, we're hoping that we have a great year with it.
Me too,
and
absolutely.
Last night we were at the Toady Awards here in New York,
Yeah.
and we had been nominated for a game, and we're hoping a year from now that maybe you can join us at the table,
Absolutely.
and this will be a game that we'll be hoping to celebrate.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're looking at another thing, some of the people watching are interested in is how licensing works when you invent a game,
Yeah.
and when you're looking at a game and to license it to companies, how do you pick which company to go to? What's your philosophy? Is it who offers you the most money or who commits first? What are you looking for, and how do you make a decision?
It's a combination. So sometimes it is who buys first, but there's many strategies to our business. There's a royalty strategy. We manufacture ourselves, and then we also look at non-game companies and try and sell them board games. So just standard toy companies. But with things like Dumb Criminals, we wanted to work with you on this because you've done such a great job with Stupid Death. So it made sense for us to come to you first and give you the opportunity. And what we try and do is partner with, I'd rather work with less people but do more games with them. So, and we know that you can do the great job with Dumb Criminals because you've shown us that with Stupid Death.
So your strategy is sort of, first choice is find a good company in each market that you can do many games with.
Yes.
And that they can be, in a sense, most favored nation, and they're treating you the same way.
Yeah, exactly. It's a preferred partnership.
Right.
For sure, yeah.
And then the second would be finding a good fit.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like the third would be going to companies that don't sell board games and trying to get them into the game business, because then you're creating a new customer.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we'll show 10 games and none of our partners want to do them.
Yeah.
So that's fine, that's life, but we want to sell the game because we believe in the product. So we get the opportunity to show it to other people.
What do you do when you know you have a great game and you know it would be good for the company and the company just isn't going for it? How do you get them to understand, see what you're seeing on how it's a great fit for their product line and that they can actually sell a lot?
Well, that's the hardest thing. So at the moment, for the last 3 years, we've been showing showing companies products, saying this is where you need to go. The trend in the market is this, and now after 3 years, people are coming to us now and going, I need this product, I need this product. So it's a waiting game. No matter how much I tell you, Bob, this is a great game, if you don't like it, you're not going to buy it.
So you have to stay visible to the company, the toy company, or the game company, and then you just have to wait until they see what you see.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a waiting game, and sometimes we'll put a game out there, and 2 years down the line, we'll see someone else with a similar game, and we were just too early for the trend.
You were just too early.
So it's about people trusting us that we know what we're doing, and I think over time, more and more people are trusting us and buying product from us because we do think about what we're doing. It's not just, here's a game do you want to buy. There's a reason behind it. There's a path behind it from our side.
And when did you start? What was your first year of going out and pitching games to people? It's fairly recent.
Yeah, so we started 6 years ago, but we did it part-time. We did it on weekends. We had my partner and I both had jobs, so we just worked at weekends. And our first game we ever sold was to Paul Lamont, which
we bought.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and what game was that?
And that was called OMG Trivia. So it was a trivia game based on stupid things that were available on the internet. So like whale vomit, for example, it costs in Japan $5,000 a pound.
Really?
Yeah. So it's trivia that you go, really?
And that's not $5,000 to get rid of the whale vomit. That's to actually buy it
and eat it. Yeah. If you want to buy whale vomit, then go ahead.
Okay.
I doubt it's very nice, right? So that was our first game we ever sold, and that gave us the confidence to say, actually, these guys, we know what we're doing. And so we just built there, and after 4 years, my agency business, I decided to switch it off. My partner gave up his job, and we
started doing it full time.
So it's about 2.5 years now we've been full time doing this.
And in 2020, how many games will you have out? How many will you have around the world? Different titles that you've been able to license?
About 25 now.
Wow.
2 years placed around the world.
Wow.
So, yeah,
that's really fantastic. Good, well, congratulations.
That's
really
great. Thank you
great.
for your support.
Well, no, I'll tell you, we're really happy. We always like getting in early on someone's career in game development, but one of the things at University Games is that because we develop a lot of games internally,
Yeah.
we have a very high standard of what we
Indeed.
think works for us.
Yeah.
And so there's very few people that we actually work with. There's probably 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And so glad to have you part of the stable.
Yeah, no, delighted. Really good.
Hope we can do a lot more products together and
Indeed.
that we go to the Toady Awards next year with this one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks a lot, David Snow.
Thanks, mate.